Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, we'll be discussing the Oscar-winning film for the year 1970, which is the movie Patton. So George C. Scott as Patton, as the title character, and also Cole Malden as General Omar Bradley. Of course, like I said earlier, this is the movie that won the Oscar for the movie year 1970. And of course, this movie, there's really not much to tell about this film, because it is a story of General George S. Patton during World War II. That's it. And this movie is almost 3 hours long. I mean, this could have been like an hour documentary or a 2-hour documentary of Patton. But they stretched this thing out to about 2 hours and 50-some minutes. And it's like, you can't. I mean, I couldn't believe I was watching this movie. First of all, I thought it was way too long. Second of all, I thought it was pretty boring. I mean, of course, those of you who know who subscribe to my channel knows that I'm not really into war movies that much. I usually give them a pretty negative review or mediocre review, and of course, Patton is no different. And you're never going to have another Oscar-winning movie, war picture again until 16 years later when Patton came out. So, this came out in like 16 years later, and it sucks. But I'm getting off topic. With Patton, George C. Scott, of course, played Patton, and it starts off not when he got promoted to general. It doesn't even show him getting promoted to general. It doesn't show him going into the army. It doesn't show him, when he was a kid growing up. He doesn't. I mean, if you're doing a biopic on somebody, start off, when he was a kid, or maybe when he was born, even. And they didn't even do that. I mean, they just picked up right when he's given this big. And this is the most iconic scene. Is the opening scene of this movie, and the movie that to me went downhill. Even though there's an Oscar-winning film, it went downhill for me after the first 5 minutes, because that was it's kind of like with Saving Private Ryan. When that movie came out, I think it was like in '97 when that movie came out, or 1997. The big thing with that movie is maybe the first half hour or so, and then the movie just dies. Same thing with Patton, in my opinion. All you have is maybe the first 5 minutes when George C. Scott as Patton comes up the stairs in front of this gigantic American flag, which pretty much takes up practically the entire screen, and with Patton standing in front of it, giving this big speech about how you should be proud of being in the United States Army. We're the greatest army in the world. We never lost a war. And this, that, and give a real big pep speech. And after that, you see the opening credits, and then that's it. And then the movie just went downhill after that. And because of that, I think because of that opening speech, is what earned George C. Scott his Academy Award for Best Actor in the movie. And the funny thing is that George C. Scott in the 1971 Oscars, he didn't even show up. And there was a real big controversy at that time, because I don't think too many people before then showed up or failed to show up at Academy Awards if they were nominated or presenting an award. And George C. Scott thought that the Oscars were boring, or an embarrassment to the movie picture, the movie makers in Hollywood. He thought it was a great embarrassment. He shouldn't get praised for it. He's just an actor doing his job, yada yada yada. He was not in it to win awards. He just in it for a paycheck and stuff like that. So he was home watching a hockey game that night, and Goldie Hawn, who presented the award, and there's a famous. I know that clip is on YouTube, but she says, "Oh my God, so she's got a pan," and they just didn't know what the hell to do because the guy didn't show up. So that's what gave Patton no more notoriety than it did, even though it was the Oscar winner for Best Picture. And the movie just died out for me, because everybody remembers the opening scene, and then that's it. That's like, and I made a comparison just before with Saving Private Ryan, but that's what, basically that's what the movie was. just a the first 5 minutes, and then you just forget about the rest of the movie. And it shows how he was leading the troops from Africa into Sicily, and eventually destroyed the or the setup for the invasion of Normandy. And Patton was ticked off over the fact that he wasn't going to be leading his troops or helping with the invasion of Normandy, because that's mean they need every person they could get, everybody they could get. And Dwight Eisenhower, or Ike as he was called throughout the movie, he was like the 4-star general, and Patton was only like a 2-star or 3-star general. Didn't want Patton there, because if Patton was there, Patton would get all the credit, and Eisenhower. That was the rumor that went into the movie, that Eisenhower was to get all the credit, and not and he didn't want Patton to get any credit at all, because Patton was a glory hawk. Basically, if you watch the movie, because you can tell that he was. Of course, there was one incident where he got temporarily removed from his troops, because there's one particular incident or scene in the movie where he was visiting injured troops after a big battle. So he went to the hospital tent or surgical tent and visiting all the troops that were recovering. And there was one particular soldier who wasn't injured at all, but he's sitting on a cot and he's crying because he couldn't take it anymore. It was psychologically drained, and it was psychologically affected by what's going on. And so Patton was beat the crap out of him, more or less. And because he did that, because the soldier that he slapped around was the son of a congressman, and so because of that, I said, hey, they had no right to slap my kid around, and so. You're right. These guys are the real heroes. You're nothing but a stinking coward. That Patton says to this kid, and so of course he got into trouble for it, and he got temporarily relieved, and then eventually got back. And then of course when the war in Europe was over, then when Germany formally surrendered, he was formally removed, from the army. And of course, he was pretty much kicked out of the army, and that's pretty much how the movie ended. And it took way too long to get there. And like I said already, it just watched the first 5 minutes of Patton, and then that's it. Cause to me, that was the highlight of the movie, was the first 5 minutes. The rest of the movie was garbage, in my opinion. Because usually at that time, most Oscar-winning movies, starting in 1970 throughout the 70s and into the 80s, most of you watch them now and you're like, this movie won the Oscar for Best Picture? And I mean, that's when they had the attitude of, when I finished about a quarter of the way through this movie, I'm like, this movie won the Oscar for Best Picture? And so I didn't know what the hell they were thinking. And I didn't know what the Academy voters were drinking, because I want to get loaded too. Because some of the decisions they made for movies to win the Oscar, I mean, any politically correctness is running rapid in Hollywood. I mean, it's over the top with the woke stuff. And to have this movie win for Best Picture, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like even though they call it a movie classic or a war movie classic and stuff, it was horrible. I mean, it was horrible to watch it. I mean, the movie Tor. It explains the battle of the attack on Pearl Harbor was 10 times better the movie than this thing was, and it's about 20 minutes shorter than Patton is. But I mean, like, the whole movie is Dorsey Scott's performance, the 5 minute beginning, and to me that's it. So that's my review of the movie Patton. Please click on the video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. That's over WDY. C.com is the homepage of the reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.